gameplay scene. Boom. Hello everyone, I believe we are live. Sorry about the technical delays. We've made some budget cuts to the quality of the stream, like the actual video quality, hoping that it optimizes buffer rate or whatever the hell. So this should be good. If it's not, I think we'll probably just try once more, this time with my co-commentator Mattyiz streaming, even helping me cast. Who knows? Does it really matter at the end of the day? Or I could solo cast. It's not that big a deal if this doesn't work, but I think this should be fine. I'm going to try to go through this real quick, considering this is going to be the final stream, the real version. Today we have two matches. We have Matt versus VerifyVenuz, and we are going to get right into that. I'm just going to flash the single player cards real quick, but to get let's get the show on the road. There's both of those. Oh right, and I'm going to be doing this solo. So without further ado, let's get rid of this. Right. Alright, we have the game capture on. Let us begin. And I'll just cast from here. So I made it about 3 minutes into this, but that's all I've seen. Not even 3 minutes. But in the bottom left, we have VerifyVenuz. We are on the map Blue Storm. And in the top right, the Black Zerg, Matt. So, just going to talk a little bit about the map while we're in this early game phase here. Blue Storm is noteworthy because of this narrow choke point that cuts through the center of the map right here. Zealots and Marines and Zerglings can just run right down the center of the map. They can just barrel down. Very fast rush time. It's very quick to scout your opponent. Very straightforward. And Venuz goes for this aggressive, like no pylon in his main, so he's looking to place his pylon here in a forward location. But Matt sees it with the Overlord, and here it is, the first pylon. I think this is very risky, but Matt pulls a drone, either to scout or do a 9-hatch, but I think this was just to see the, just to stop this probe here, but the probe got a pick and pulled back. Personally, I think the probe could just cancel. I think Venuz could cancel the pylon with that pick and then just go back to playing a normal game, but he's going to push his advantage here. Matt's saving up for a hatchery. Matt still has no pool. No Zerglings are going to be coming out anytime soon. And I just missed it, but this forge goes down and Venuz signals that he's going for a cannon rush. But Matt is not intimidated. Matt goes for a hatchery here before pool, despite this kind of terrifying threat, in my opinion. Matt just stays calm and pulls 2 drones to try and pick off this these workers from Venuz here. But he has 2 and he's kiting them around. And Venuz has the bank to start 2 of these. Do these 2 drones take out this cannon? Yes, they do. I don't think Venuz canceled that. So Venuz does not get that money back. And he loses a probe, and unless he cancels this, he's not going to get this money back either. So yeah, $300 in the hole. Let's see. Matt started his pool, but it's still about another minute out from Zerglings. But right now, this is not looking good for Venuz here. And he pulls back, but if we look at what he has in his main, he just puts a pylon here. He has no defenses, he has nothing. He has 2 pylons here. Let's see. Matt doesn't even scout. Oh, he has the Overlord scouting, so he doesn't send a drone. Let's see, let's check the pool. Pool's almost done, so Zerglings in like 30 seconds. And Venuz opts to remake the forge because he's probably thinking he's going to lose the first one, or he's attempting to make a wall of some kind to buy him more time, because right now this is pretty disastrous. Because this is 150 minerals, this forge. this is 100. That's 250 plus the 300 from the pylon. That's like 550 minerals that Venuz has lost here in the beginning of the game that he is putting himself behind economically. And I think Matt recognizes this, and rather than overreacting with a large amount of Zerglings, Matt just opts for going 2 Zerglings or 2 sets of Zerglings and pulling ahead economically. And I think that's the right play here. Venuz is forced to make this cannon here and kind of kill his economy, but this is just not a strong position, and Matt, capitalizing even further, takes his expansion on time in the bottom right. Because Matt has said repeatedly on stream that Matt does not like this mineral only base here. Zergs generally prefer gas anyways, and I did miss it, but yes, the 4 Zerglings are completely adequate for getting rid of these buildings here. And Matt starts his evolution chamber, a couple more sets of Zerglings for defense. Nothing on gas for the moment. Or sorry. Yeah, gas has been cut for Matt. Looks like Matt's just trying to drone up. Oh no, these are more Zerglings. Zerglings and overloads. I think Zergling speed has been teched. You can tell by how much gas the Zerg player has, but I'm not that smart. Venuz here tries to go for an expansion, but this wall is not great. Venuz has the 2 cannons, but this is just not a... It's a precarious situation for Venuz here, because he only has 1 zealot. He doesn't have this base. He just started his nexus. And Matt picks off that pylon here, and he's looking for more picks. Like, Matt's trying to see if he can get this zealot here. And more zealots start trickling out. But you can see how much of an uncomfortable position this is for Venuz. And Matt's just trying to see if he can slip in here, maybe get a zealot here. More Zerglings pulling in. If these cannons go down, this game's pretty much over. Yeah, the zealot does not have any upgrades. So at 3 shots Zerglings, it's very slow to kill. And yeah, you can see this is the fall of an empire. Is this Venuz's 3rd forge? Yeah, Venuz is trying to build here, but there's just no way. The opening was a little scuffed, and I think we'll be seeing GG soon. Because there's just no way. So I guess what are some takeaways we can have from this? I don't think Venuz lost because he went for this cannon rush. I actually liked his cannon rush. I thought it was going pretty well. It's just with these all-in cheese builds, you know, it's called all-in for a reason. If it doesn't work, you lose. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. There's just no follow-up. If it fails, you just can't do anything. And Matt handled things very well. Seemed very calmly. And just shut this down. And look, Matt's even looking for hidden expansions, but there's nothing. This is going to go on to game 2. Guess I can check tech. Let's see, what is Matt working on? Cannon Rush didn't go quite to plan. Agreed, VerifyVenuz. And there he goes. Alrighty then. Let's go on to... How do I do this? Boom. There we go. And then my Matt is going to make the other game for me because I don't have the replay. I'm going to switch right there. We're going to go on to game 2. And hopefully we get something a little longer for you guys. Something a little more interesting. Oh, it's just getting set up right now. But this next game is going to be on Fighting Spirit. And boom. Okay. So Fighting Spirit. Venuz are cyan? No, not really cyan. Teal. Teal Protoss in the top right versus the white Zerg Matt in the bottom right. So, yeah, just moving on from last game. I'd say right now, just looking at this might be, these spawn locations might be a positional advantage for Venuz here in this game. Because Matt's going to Overlord scout to the left, because the Overlord will always scout in such a way where it tries to find the other person's natural first. That's the rule of thumb. So if Venuz decides to just do something standard, like a forge, fast, expand, we don't know if this is going to be a forge or a gateway yet, but Venuz is just like, okay, time to play it straight. I'm going to scout you. Follow this probe. I only learned you could do this recently by just right-clicking a unit. Locks the camera on him nice and smooth. And let's see, is Matt, intro, opening is Matt going for it. Looks like this is going to be a 12 hatch. Matt's feeling confident. Venuz sees that Matt is in the bottom right and is like, okay, there you are. I don't see a pool, so I'm just gonna head back home. Matt takes... Matt's gonna expand, and let's see. Yes. Venuz does go for a forge, fast, expand. This is where you open... The Protoss has two choices here when they're going for a fast expansion build order. Their pylon is out here in their natural instead of in their main because they're trying to stake a claim to their own base. Because if they get this, they're going to basically survive like 8 minutes into the game no matter what. And the Protoss has a choice here of going Forge or Gateway. The Forge lets you make the cannons, but you can't make a Gateway to make a then Cybernetics Core and like progress your tech, and you also can't make Zealots. So the Forge is a more defensive option unless you do something crazy like Cannon Rush. If Matt sees this, he's going to know that Venuz is signaling a low pressure game, a low pressure opening. There's not going to be any aggression. And look, 2 cannons. Venuz is playing very safe here. I wonder if he's even going to put down a gateway before his first Nexus. But like, giving attention to Matt. Matt just goes for a 12 hatch. I didn't see the exact spawning pool timing, but I think it was probably on 11 or 12. Matt's just going for a strong economy opening. Meanwhile, I think Venuz is trying to do that, but a little paranoid, and playing it very safe with these cannons, at least build order wise. I think positionally these could be a little better, because right now Zerglings could run up the ramp. This wall should really be on this side here, so the Zerglings have to, if I move my camera, run around and then go in, but they can actually just run right by these cannons. Gateway up from Venuz, and the first Zergling's going to go out. Part of me wonders if Matt's just going to respect this wall, and just be like, okay, I see what you're going for. Or if Matt's going to be like, no, you didn't wall properly, I'm just going to run in your base and kill you. Let's see. Yeah, Matt's just like, okay, you have 2 cannons up. I don't have speed, I'm just going to chill. And Venuz is going to get their second base up. Cybernetics Core just teching. No gas yet, which might... I don't know. I would think they would want gas now, but we'll see. We'll see what they got up their sleeves. And then just looking at Matt here, just droning up, trying to build a strong economy for the mid game, not trying to end the game early. And look, Matt's transferring even more workers to his third here. So yeah, so a very calm, pretty standard Protoss versus Zerg game. So I think the first interesting decision, I mean, I'm a Protoss player, so I'm going to be giving Venuz more attention here. The first interesting decision that can be made in the game for the Protoss is whether they go with the Forge first or the Gateway first, and we've seen that. But I think the second interesting decision they can make is after their Cybernetics core, what is the first advanced building Venuz is going to open with? Because the Protoss has three options. They could go Robotics Facility, which is very rare to get observers and maybe reavers in a shuttle, and that's like a very, very difficult play style, but some people play it. The Protoss can go for a Stargate to get Corsairs and try to shoot down the Zerg overlords and get scouting information, or the Protoss can go Citadel of Adun, which basically they get Dark Templars and Psionic Storm, and that's what Venuz opts for here. He's saying, I want a stronger ground army. I'm going to go Citadel of Adun before anything else. Consequence of this, he's not going to have great scouting information on his opponent, on Matt here. And I fear Matt's going to kind of have free reign with this economy to do whatever he pleases. Look at this, 2 evolution chambers. Matt's just saying, you know what? You can have the early game. I'm just going to chill in my base. I'm gonna get a whole bunch of upgrades. Look at this, Hydra. Hydra's being upgraded before the first Hydralisk is even out. What's it called? Oh, yeah. Venuz doing what he can here. But you can see he's falling behind on worker count, trying to at least get some scouting information, or maybe just push the Zerglings away. If I'm Venuz in this position, I'm going to show just Venuz's vision. He does not have much map presence or map knowledge about his opponent. Meanwhile, from Matt's perspective, he's expanding here. He just has a lot of information right now. Matt is definitely controlling this matchup right now. Just looking at tech. Matt going up to a hive already before 8 minutes. It's very greedy opening here from Matt. Fourth base, this is an aggressive expansion. Matt could have chosen to expand into the bottom left to have a safer expansion, but I think Matt's thinking Venuz isn't going to scout this. Let's see. Alright, Hydra's starting to be masked up here. Yeah, now it's all Hydras. Oops, all Hydras. Some scouting Zerglings from Matt, just checking what Venuz has here. Being like, okay, is this all you got? Just like four Dragoons, some Zealots, I can deal with that. And Venuz opting to morph an Archon here. An Archon is morphed from 2 High Templars. They're a Protoss spellcaster that are known for Psionic Storm, which is basically like a Molotov cocktail, if you don't know spells in this game. Matt's just hunting for third bases, making sure he's not getting cheesed. But an Archon does not have any spells. It's actually just, you can think about it like a super zealot. So, it's good against Zerglings, but not if it gets surrounded. It's very expensive. I think it's an interesting move, not necessarily a bad move. But an Archon will kind of get melted by these Hydralisks, and I missed it, but they just ran right up this ramp, and I think they're going to get this base. These two cannons are out of position, and Matt's just going to take this Nexus down. Venuz tries to rotate, but there's just no way. The Hydralisks are too fast. Matt's upgraded a Hydralisk movement speed, and he just gets out of there before the rotate can happen. And to make matters worse, Venuz can't even get up his own cannon wall here. Like, Matt just keeps massing up Hydralisks. Matt's feeling very comfortable because he just delayed the Protoss base. Looking back in Venuz's base, he's got one Stargate. He's researching Psionic Storm for the High Templars. It's the Molotov cocktail spell I described for you newbies. And we have a fight in the center of the map that I just missed because I was looking at the base. But the fact of the matter is Venuz does not have enough here. Matt's been playing very greedy and building up to become an economic powerhouse, and Venuz just does not have the production to match this. This is just too many Hydralisks. Look, they're fighting up high ground and they're still probably going to win. And look how many of these Hydras aren't shooting. But it's just too many Hydras. Venuz is trying to get his third up, but there's no way, there's no army out. Venuz is only on 4 gateway, a 5th being made, Stargate not working. There's no army supply right now for Venuz, and it's not looking good here. Bringing my attention to Matt's natural. I mean, look at this. There's no defensive buildings here, but look at this shit ball of Hydralisks. Hydralisks deny the base again, and this is just, I think, the beginning of the end. I think all these Hydras are going to meet up in the middle of the map. Venuz tries to scout, or maybe sneak an expansion somewhere, but the Hydras catch it. And yeah, this is not looking good. Not looking good for our Protoss hero. Just looking at worker counts here. Another probe gets caught, but Venuz actually did sneak a probe out in the bottom left. So I don't think Matt's going to find that. Not right away, at least. Actually, looking at the timing of these, I think Venuz has accidentally rallied probes, possibly to the bottom left of the map. But Venuz can sense a storm brewing. He knows something crazy is coming, so he's cannoning up. This is the right play here. When you're dealing with mass Hydralisk, it's not newbie, it is completely acceptable to just throw down like 7 cannons, 8 cannons. In fact, this isn't even enough cannons. Venuz has the money to throw down like 5 more. I would, personally, just to survive. Matt just taking his time. More Archons. The Stargate's been made from Venuz, and he's upgrading air attack, but I don't think he's made an air unit yet. And meanwhile, look at this economy from the Zerg here. So much mining, so much tech. Oh, the upgrades. I can't see what these are, but let's see. Yeah, +2/+2, about to get +3/+3. This is a Doomsday army here. Alright, first Corsair out from Venuz here to possibly get some scouting information on his opponent, because look, from his perspective, the game just looks like this. And he's just like, wow, there's a lot of Hydras outside my base. He double expands here, but unfortunately for him, Matt could smell it coming. But I think this was the right move from Venuz to try and take both of these, because it was pretty much his only way getting back in this game. He moves out with some Zealots, but his Zealots only have +1 attack, and look, there's so many Hydralisks. They get a complete surround, You want your melee units to surround the ranged units, but instead your melee units got surrounded by the ranged units, so yeah, not great. I mean, just look at this. Terrifying. How do you deal with this as Protoss? Look at all these Hydras. It's just so many, it's so much DPS. And a Hydralisk is only one supply. A Hydralisk is so supply efficient. And in StarCraft 2 they get nerfed. They're actually 2 supply each, so you can have half as many. But not in Brood War, man. In Brood War, you can just have this many Hydras. And look, I'm not showing the 12 in the top left and the 12 in the bottom left. And look, even more. There's just so many Hydralisks. It's insane. Let's look at Venuz's vision. Just in his base. We got a Freaky Zealot. But Venuz is probably feeling very claustrophobic. At 15 minutes as a Protoss, you really want that third base. Possibly even a fourth. Matt might have taken out a base here, and I think I missed it. I don't know. I don't know why his units are here. Venuz tries to push out again, but look, this is like 7. Alright, maybe bait into the cannons. That's what Venuz is going for here, but with this many Hydralisks, and Matt's still making more. This is kind of overkill in my opinion. This is way too many Hydralisks. Did not need this many. Look, Matt building up to 200 supply. It's probably over 100 Hydralisks here. I mean, yeah, it has to be. If Matt has 51 workers supply, then he probably has 149 supply in just Hydralisks. So 149 Hydralisks, unless you see another military unit, but I think this is just Hydras, folks. This is 149 Hydralisks that we're about to see conga lining into this base. You don't want a conga line, because look, one just dies, but it doesn't matter. When you have this many, it literally doesn't matter. And this is why Psionic Storm is so useful. You might think this is like an unstoppable amount, and it kind of is, but if you had like 3 Templar here, these Hydralisks pack so dense, you can just storm and they all die, storm, they all die, and they can't even retreat because there's the ones behind them pushing them in. But look at this. There's no spells to try and break this even. It's like, look at the supply. I think there's just no way. You crash right up the ramp. Hydras bust down the cannons like they're nothing. Like they're actually nothing. You can see the cannons here, or the gateways here for stargates. The stargates here for carriers, I mean. But they never even got started, man. The Wunderwaffe was not. The Wunderwaffe carriers were not made this game. I think in part because Venuz was flummoxed a bit by just being unable to expand and really get scouting information. But 2, for mass carriers, you really need a bustling economy, which Venuz just did not have on 2 base. In previous games where Venuz has gone for this carrier build, he's been on 4 base, 5 base, I think. Maybe even 6 base, I missed that, I can't remember. But on 2 base, you just can't really support that many carriers. And even though he has a bit of a bank, he could have made some. And there's GG's. There's just no way out of that. So, let's see. Gotta get my commentator host back in here. Commentator and co-host. Oh, right. So I'm supposed to be doing like the cast stuff. Sorry guys, I'm not used to casting alone.
Sorry, I'm here, and now that my games aren't being cast, I can cast as well.
Yeah, right. I completely missed the whole. Now the games are over. VerifyVenuz. VerifyVenuz will now go into the losers bracket. So Venuz is not eliminated, but For our Venuz
and
fans,
they are playing, I believe off the top of my head, I want to say it's crabs. But I'll confirm that before the end of the stream.
For the next game, and Matt, you will move on in the upper
to play
bracket
the winner of this game.
to play the winner of the game we're about to see. So I'm going to create the lobby.
Oh, I just made it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, no, you go through the images. Let's get the whole, what game is up next? Who's playing?
You're right. Oh, oops. Don't look at the sloppy battle.net lobby, folks. We want our player cards that took all of our budget.
Our budget of $0.
Our budget of $0, but we have a time budget, you know. All right.
True.
So, for our next match, we have G-Man versus the Voyager. G-Man has played. Should I show like the individual stat cards?
I don't know. I'm still behind, but I'd say pull up both and chill on it for a bit. But in Yoinky Sploinky, G-Man has not played a Zerg ever. However, as the main Zerg who Gianni has played against, I think this might be his weakest matchup.
Just due to experience, really.
Yeah, so the Tier 1 players are... The difference between Tier 1 and Tier 2, in my opinion, is the biggest of any of the tier differences. And I think... I just think the Tier 1s have a really low chance of going down to anyone that's not a Tier 1. The exceptions to this are, I think, G-Man versus any Zerg, really. And then there are a couple of handful of others, I think, Michael and Blue both have a real shot of taking down someone. Blue, someone who's not me, because I'm not going to lie, I can't imagine losing versus Protoss to anyone other than Will. And then Michael, I feel like both of those two have the highest chance of taking down any of the Tier 1s. In addition to any Zerg versus G-Man. So I wonder how this will go into it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Additionally, we have a 2-tier... also, I hosted the lobby.
Oh, I'll join in a second. Hold on. I have to step out for a moment. 1 sec.
Oh, okay. Then I can just keep talking while you step out. Additionally, this is a 2-tier gap in the handicaps. So what that means is Voyager not only gets to pick all the maps, but G-Man has to share vision with Voyager. That could come into play if Gianni can't really do any early game cheeses, because if you're sharing vision, then that can get shut down pretty easily. Additionally, he's more vulnerable to early game cheeses. However, I think a lot of people overestimate what sharing vision does. For example, if I shared vision with Venuz in that previous game, I'm not sure it really would have made a difference, because I was just so ahead in supply. My macro, aka macro management, which is basically spending your money and building up army, was better, and I won based off of that. And that doesn't really do anything. Doesn't come into play with vision. So there are definitely ways you can benefit. You can use having shared vision to your advantage. But if you kind of just play a standard normal game, I don't think it really does anything. And I guess Will still isn't back. So I guess I'll start talking a little more. G-Man, Gianni, was 3rd place in Yoinky Sploinky 1. And he was 3rd place for a reason. And I suspect that we'll see that reason come into play here. We've in his past games, well, actually, we've only seen 2 of his games in Yoinky Sploinky 2. But he demonstrated... He basically kind of won the game in the early/mid game and then stalled the game for nukes. And I think if he does that again here, then he could be in trouble.
Hey,
Especially, yo, what's up, Jason?
I see that you're talking about Gianni here.
Yes, sir.
I think Gianni's might win this match.
Yeah, I think Gianni's definitely favored. But Voyager has caught the bug. You know, at the start of the tournament, Voyager was kind of just one of those players where it's like, oh, they're not going to practice. They're kind of just going to be a free win for someone who does at least a little bit of practice. But he caught the bug. He's in. You know, he asked for replays of Gianni versus Zerg, so he kind of knows how Gianni plays. He's been doing a lot of practice, and I'm excited to see what he can do. Additionally, he's a student of the stream. Like he talks about, or he's talked about a few times how he learned something from just watching the Yoinky Spoinky stream. So
hey,
I'm
Voyager.
looking forward to. Yeah, hey, what's up, Voyager? I'm not sure if you're here, but yo.
If you're in the thing, send me your notes.
Hey.
Make sure you share with the class. You know.
True.
Exactly. And is he a new player, or is he?
Yeah, he's new.
He's new. Okay, good. There'll be a test next Tuesday.
True.
Yes.
Dang, we got someone saying $5 to Gianni dropping a map to Voyager. Okay. I think it's possible.
All bets will be going to charity.
I think, you know, Gianni's a very good player. Obviously, like, third place in Yoinky Spoinky 1. He's a tier 1 player. He took games off of Will, who got second place. So, like, he's legit. However, I think he has some real weaknesses. And I think the early game is his early game is decently weak. So, I could see a world where Voyager does some kind of early aggression and just ends up winning based on it.
And Voyager is playing what race?
Zerg.
I see. Okay. Yeah, beat him, Voyager.
Dang. Okay, we got some bias in the commentary. I like that.
Avenge me what I could have.
Alright, I'm back.
All right. Let's get to the other graphics, the player-specific ones.
Absolutely,
We'll just cover those
especially
real quick.
What's it called? We're gonna show Voyager first. Hold up.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at
because-
Voyager's graphic beforehand.
because
and, like,
I
they're just
remember-
so wholesome.
I remember his interview questions being pretty funny, or some of his answers contradicting what you said, some of what you said, and I thought it was well, we'll see. It's on screen. Well, you don't see it
Sorry,
yet.
my Discord, like, I don't know, I guess lost connection
Oh, you're good.
for a sec.
You're all good. I didn't.
Been doing that recently.
Okay.
But I heard you saying a little bit before about how Voyager caught the bug, and it would probably be a free win for anyone that practiced. And if you look at the Voyager stats screen here and their StarCraft experience tab, his answer when how much StarCraft experience do you have was, I will be booting the game up for the first time to play in this tournament with 0 YouTube videos watched or guide given. That may have been true for his first game, but he's been practicing.
That is not true now.
Yeah, he's been practicing, he's been watching videos, he's been on the grind, getting his
And I
noggin
just want
jogging.
to say, like, so wholesome. It's like that picture is presumably him. I don't know for sure, though. I could be wrong. And then his battle quote is like an actual, like, motivational quote and stuff. It's like, man, what a wholesome little player card here. And it, you know, opposed to me with Neko Arc Saul Goodman, and like my plays are quite complicated. And like crabs with the crab on the skateboard, it's like you now have crabs. It's like someone, instead of trying to be silly or weird, he's just wholesome and uplifting, and I really appreciate that.
And then moving on to G-Man, also known as Gianni. We're not like consistent with what we write down, but we're gonna use Gianni. His quote, the Oppenheimer quote, the guy from the movie, in case you didn't know. Gianni told me that was because he uses nukes. That's it. That's the reason for the quote. Just looking at his versus Terran win rates. Terran, beware. You might lose to this guy. But Zergs, yeah, we have no data. As we said, he has not played against a Zerg in any Yoinky Splunky game. And it's kind of a mystery matchup for him, where this is going to be our first real look at how good is he, really.
Alright, my Discord's on the fritz, so I'll probably be cutting in and out during the game, I guess.
Okay.
But what I wanted to say is, win rates, I think, are a little
they can be
deceptive, because both Gianni and I, technically, our worst win rate matchups are versus Protoss, but I would say both of us, our best matchup is versus Protoss. So yeah, don't be too, like, you know, don't be misled.
Realize through the hardship of their lower win rate in that matchup that people have grown strong. People have learned more about the matchup that they lose in.
Peru. Actually, you know, honestly, Will, I think you're, just off the top of my head, I want to say your worst win rate is versus Zerg, and in my opinion, that's also your best matchup.
Yeah, you gotta get your money up, not your funny up in this game. When you're losing, when you have your matchup that you keep losing in, that's the one you get best at, because you're like, God damn it, why am I still losing?
True.
I'm gonna bring this back to the duo screen, and then I say we get into this replay.
Alright, yeah,
yes,
let's rock
folks,
and roll.
This is cash from a replay today. We have no live dudes today.
I also want to say Gianni, his APM level is vertebrate. Well, Gianni is also pretty consistently. Oh, sorry, I paused it just so you could get set up. Gianni is pretty consistently the highest APM player in the tournament. Yeah, checking.
Gianni making sure that the vision sharing is working properly. So I think if I disable Gianni's vision, we will still see Gianni's vision. So yes, Gianni's vision is disabled. So
I had no idea. That's crazy.
Well, I'm sipping the IPA. Oh, that's funny. That's a message for me, folks. We went on a camping trip, and my dad insisted we bring like some beers, and he gave us like some of his IPAs, but like they were warm, and we're not IPA fans, so we didn't drink them. But Gianni didn't want to be rude, so he took them home, and now he's drinking them during his game.
Yeah.
But you were saying before I sidetracked.
Just it's crazy how you can hide stuff like that. Oh, I guess we didn't do an introduction. In the top left, the teal Terran Gianni, and in the top right, the black Zerg Voyager. Voyager's opening, I think, wasn't super clean, but you know, that's alright. I'm wondering what he's doing. He's got an Overlord cooking, so if I had to guess, probably a hatch first. I would kind of hope a hatch first, because I don't think Overpool is that good in this matchup, or 12 pool or anything. Gianni goes for an early... I don't know if that's super early, but he goes to scout.
I think it's pretty early. Before barracks?
Yeah. I would say it's early, but like, what do I know? Gianni's starting in a barracks, kind of forward. Voyager's hiding the Overlords, and again, not a very clean opener. You don't need 3 Overlords this early. Going Extractor before Pool, and Gianni sees he's got the SCV in. Although I don't think he saw the Overlord count, because if I were Gianni, I think I said Johnny, but if I were Gianni and I saw 3 Overlords this early, I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it'd be chilling.
I'm chilling.
There's no... My opponent just spent 200 minerals on useless supply that they can't fill.
Yeah. I think a little over-microing from Gianni, but he scares the drone off, runs away. Smart pulling back from Voyager.
Yeah, it was clutch.
I think,
he didn't lose the drone. Drones just lose that fight, guys. SCVs are way
unless
stronger.
like you're pro, unless you're pro gamer, because SCVs have a range of 0, while drones have a range of 1. So you can technically like micro that stuff, but it's like I don't bother. I also think it's kind of clutch for Voyager to not chase the SCV. But I gotta say, Voyager is pooling money.
He is.
He could have 2 more hatcheries right now. And I hope he's saving for the pool. Yeah, starts 2 sets of lings right away. You'll love to see it. Only has 2 guys on gas, and then putting a 3rd on now.
It's a chill opening, and then just looking at Camp Gianni. It looks like he's feeling pretty safe. No wall, no nothing. He's going two barracks. He's not going to expand.
I think he can feel safe. Look at this. Look at his SCV. It's like nothing can get past that. Even if it tried. So he doesn't need a wall or anything. Now he knows he's got 2 barracks and an academy. A 2 racks academy before expansion is, I think, a pretty aggressive opener. And honestly, I'm really worried about Voyager not expanding here. At a Zerg, like 4 minutes is when you're like
supposed to have 3 bases.
Zerg's on. Yeah, it depends on the matchup. In this matchup, not really. But versus Protoss, you should have a 3rd base by now. But Zerg is the worst race on 1 base out of all of them. Like if you had if every race could only have 1 base at a time, then Zerg would be the worst race. Because they need gas so much. And with only 1 gas geyser, that's just not enough. Not to mention, like, you know, when you're starting when your expansion's at the same time as the Terrans, that's not good. I like what Voyager is doing with their lings, having it out on the map. Although, honestly, since they have Gianni's vision, they don't really need to do anything too crazy here.
And Voyager did just
Voyager taking a 3rd. Yeah, taking a 3rd, which I like.
But
has
again,
a
couple minutes
ton
late.
of lings. Voyager really doesn't need this many lings unless they're thinking of trying to be a little aggressive. Oh, never mind. Gianni's got the fire bats. He does need this many lings because he doesn't have enough creep for sunken colonies. Now that his expansion is done, I definitely think he should throw down 2 creep colonies right away and turn those into sunken colonies because Gianni has a scary army. And I was kind of talking like Voyager has a lot of lings, and that's because lings in the early game don't really do anything. So having a lot is a lot of like money spent that doesn't necessarily turn into money, doesn't necessarily turn into value. And that's like what, 16 lings, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah. And here comes another force, there are 20 lings. But I think 20 lings just lose this fight, even if they get a good surround.
I mean, there's no medics.
Here they
so
are.
That changes everything. Oh, well, yeah. Maybe low energy medics, but yeah. Like you're saying, Terran Bio does melt Zerglings. Early Zerglings just kind of suck.
And yeah, a thing with early Zerglings, look at the worker count right now. You know, if this was a live game, we wouldn't have that, but since it's a replay, we do. Voyager only has 13 drones. That's nothing. On just made 3 overlords. Yeah, I hate to see that. It's not bad, but it's like, you would rather those have been drones, you know. Voyager does have a nice base count, though. Oh, Gianni made a vulture? Okay. So, this is a little unorthodox. Generally, Gianni in particular, like Terrans and Gianni just go mass Marines and medics. However, a vulture does really well versus Zerglings if you micro it, and the vulture has the speed upgrade. Sadly, Gianni kind of just lost that doing nothing.
Oh, these mines
here
are
come
going
the
to kill
mines.
infinity lings. Unless we get a crazy drag.
Okay, those mines were good. The vulture died, but I still think that's okay. Unfortunate misclick. But look, Gianni stims, and we can just see the power of stimmed Marines.
Yeah.
But interesting to see Gianni go vultures. because a lot of high-level Terrans, they like don't really use the factory at all, and occasionally they use it for siege tanks. Gianni scans Voyager's main. Occasionally, high-level Terran players will make siege tanks, but you don't really see vultures like that. And Gianni like almost always makes siege tanks. So I'm really interested in this play. Also, he has a starport with the control tower, so he's going to be starting his... Yeah, there's his science facility. He's going to be getting science vessels pretty much right away, because vessels are really good. Like, vessels... If it wasn't for the vessel, I don't think this matchup would be very... Like, the Terran would be really bad in the mid to late game. But the science vessel is so good versus Zerg because it has the irradiate spell, which is basically 75 energy to kill a unit instantly. Sometimes kill multiple, not instantly, but kill a unit guaranteed. Sometimes kill multiple units guaranteed.
Like he's scanning,
he's looking for burrowed.
He's looking for burrowed or like lurkers or stuff.
That's funny.
But yeah, Voyager just does not have the Zergling count he needs. I think that's kind of like
Voyager
the opening he was going for, but
have too much tech. Just now has a Hydra Den, but doesn't have the lurker upgrade. The layer's been done for a while, and honestly, both players are on kind of a low worker count, but Voyager in particular.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like Voyager's gearing up for a Ling All-In or something, but I don't really like that play. I think maybe if Voyager teched for a faster Hive on Gianni Scouts, the drones coming out. But if Voyager teched for faster Hive for the Adrenal Glands upgrade, which increases the Zergling attacks by like 1/3, so like they're just crazy. Then I think maybe this could be okay. But with just this much kind of stock Lings, I think Gianni's really in a good position.
Yeah.
I also want to point out the supply difference isn't that big a deal. This is probably a little too far apart. Like 50 to 70 is a little extreme. But Zerg is supposed to be behind in supply versus all matchups. If Zerg is either even in supply or ahead in supply, that generally means they're ahead in the game. But not always, it depends on the game state.
Yeah.
But being behind 30 isn't that good, especially being behind 30 and supply blocked. And now Gianni finally has Vulture speed, and he sees like, oh, this is a shit ton of Zerglings. I wonder what Gianni's thinking right now.
He's probably just like, oh, I'm gonna chill in my base and get like double the amount of medics and marines, and then I'm gonna move out and
double
win the
the
game.
amount of fire bats. He's got 7 fire bats here.
But it's just like,
And Gianni probably can tell there's a base in the bottom right, just because, like, why would Voyager have Lings there? So Gianni probably knows he's going up against a 4-base Zerg.
Well, 4 base, but 4 workers on one.
Yeah.
5 workers on another.
And look
5
at Gianni's
workers.
barrack count. That's huge. And he has double starport
8.
for double vessel. I mean, it sucks that he's supply blocked right now. But Gianni's infrastructure is way ahead of Voyager's.
Yeah.
Mainly because Voyager just doesn't have any tech. Starting the Spire now, has the Hydra Den, but I don't think has made a single Hydra. I like mass Ling shenanigans. I always think that's fun. But versus Terran, I think that's the worst race to do mass Ling shenanigans against. And Gianni's... this is a very bold expansion from Gianni, considering that Voyager has his vision. But Gianni
Yeah,
scans Voyager's main and 3rd base, sees the Spire, scans the natural as well. I do like the amount of hatcheries Voyager has at the natural, especially because they're banking a lot of money. And here comes a move out, stimming the fire bats. Stimmed fire bats delete Zerglings so quickly, it's not even fair, not even close to being fair. Get some Overlord picks, but unfortunate Lings or Ling flank there, they just get wrecked by these Marines.
If you actually look at the Zerglings, I think the first group, but they're not getting any surface area. They're only attacking like 2 here, 2 here. You really need to, with Zerglings, they're a melee unit and they're weak. You need to get surrounds. You need to get from multiple sides.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's just the school of thought with any melee unit versus a ranged unit.
That's why, you know, a lot of people, a lot of newer players are like, oh, the Firebat counters Zerglings. And it's like, not really. It depends on the engagement. If Zerglings get a surround on the Firebat, then, you know, the Zerglings wreck. I like Voyager making this evolution chamber kind of just something to buy time. But, you know, Gianni's pretty much in the main.
Hey, Mutalisk.
The Mutas come out, but
could be pretty good here against this Firebat composition. Wait.
No, Gianni has enough Marines. It's
Oh well, yeah, Mutalisk.
Yeah, saying, you know, being like, oh, Mutas can do like, that's 9 Marines. 9 Marines and 3 medics is enough to scare Mutas away, unless you have like 11 Mutas.
Yeah, I guess this should be a PSA for like everyone watching. Mutalisks do not fight Marines with Mutalisks.
Period.
You might as well just be throwing money in the garbage.
Yeah, so Mutalisks, they don't fight really well against anything that shoots air. However, they're really good at, because they're so fast, they're really good at, like, you know, you run in, you see they're out of position, you pick off a High Templar, or you pick off a Marine or Medic, you run in and pick off some SCVs in their mineral line and then leave. They're not really good at fighting a whole-on army, especially if you're not like really good at microing, because their techniques, microing as in micromanaging, their techniques to control the Mutalisk way better than just sending it, like right-click and sending it in. Voyager does deny this 3rd base, however, losing the natural isn't good, because now the main is cut off, and the main is the most valuable base, because it has all of the Zerg's tech. Gianni's just flying in.
Yeah, Gianni's just gonna walk right up here and be like, okay, there's nothing here, I'm going to kill all this
Which
now.
is the right move from Gianni. Kills the Sunken. I think Gianni should prioritize the spawning pool or Spire, because right now, the Zerg can't even make Zerglings.
Yeah, with the spawning pool down, Venuz is effectively neutered.
I'm taking a look at Venuz's other bases, and right now Venuz only has
not Venuz,
hatcheries.
Voyager.
Oh, sorry, yeah, you're right, Voyager. I'm taking a look at Voyager's other bases, and right now they have nothing. Like, there are no buildings other than hatcheries and extractors that are made at any of the other bases. In addition to, Voyager also took this center base, which isn't good because Gianni knows there's a base in the bottom right. So if you right-click across the map,
he's gonna accidentally walk.
He's like,
this.
oh, whoops. Yeah. It looks like Voyager tries like a counterattack backstab, but Gianni has enough there to stop it.
I missed the attack, but I see the splats.
It wasn't a lot. Yeah, it was. I think Voyager knew he wasn't going to win that. And
do you know the hotkey to hide the middle stat panel?
No, I don't. Not off the top of my head. Let me check. Alt-U. Or if you press W. Non-alting and just pressing W closes it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And yeah, the supply really says everything. Voyager has 10 supply, and 8 of that is drones, and he leaves. Yeah. So, overall, I think Voyager played a little too safe at the early game. If you see the Terran,
Oh, you're cutting out, but I think I agree with what you're saying. I think
what they're doing. Sorry. What's the next map again? Is it Optimizer next?
The next map should be
Optimizer. Yeah.
Optimizer.
So if you see the vision of the Terran, and you know everything they're doing, and you know they're kind of hiding in their base, then I'm making a second hatchery, I'm making a third hatchery, I'm making a fourth. Voyager, if I were Voyager, I would have made 6 lings just to put the appearance of some pressure on. And then I would have just made drones. More drones, and when I have more drones, even more drones. Anyway, here we go. Optimizer. Gianni in the top left. Voyager in the bottom right. This map, again, has... I feel like we've talked about this in the past. This map has 2 gas geysers. The one on the top... I think the one on the top is just always better than the one on the bottom. Because the one on the top has 4,000 gas on it. The one on the bottom has 1,000. And Voyager going for a 4 pool. I wasn't really paying attention, but there we go. I think this could be a... Yeah, this could be a guaranteed win against Gianni, I'm not going to lie.
Cross spawn, shared risen 4 pool.
Yeah, depending on how Gianni handles this.
He really didn't seem like he was playing that safe. He didn't even wall in the last game.
Yeah,
and I think he's
honestly,
feeling confident.
I think this is a smart move from Voyager.
I agree.
You know, if you're gonna 4 pool, and you get to pick the map, why would you pick the biggest map of the remaining maps? You know, you would expect something like maybe oh, Gianni sends out the scout. But you would expect like maybe Blue Storm or Eclipse or something. Like Blue Storm, I think a 4 pool is like, you know, I hate to kind of throw my Zergs under the bus, but like if I'm playing a Zerg if I'm not a Zerg and I'm playing on Blue Storm, I'm hard blind countering 4 pool. I think the rush distance on that map is so small that if you're a Zerg, then like you either should 4 pool or should play with the anticipation that your opponent is expecting a 4 pool.
Well, another thing is, I mean, I think just in general. Oh, look at this! They just miss each other. Gianni just misses it. Oh, he's gonna know when he sees.
But it's not over for Gianni. Gianni could he could make a bunker below his command center and pull SCVs. Yeah, he queues up some
there's
Marines.
no wall, there's nothing blocking this, and look, Voyager just gets right in here.
Yeah, Gianni knows. So Gianni has to pull SCVs. He can't let this first Marine die. And he starts a bunker, very smart, pulls the Marine. He has to protect it with SCVs. This could actually be okay for Gianni, honestly. If he gets his bunker up... And come on! Alright, the bunker's up! Oh, the Marine! No, the 2 Marines! Oh, no! The worst timing! And the barracks goes down, and I think that's GG.
I think that's it, yeah.
Yeah. Gianni was so close.
4 pool! Yes, Gianni. Your ass just got 4 pooled on YSC 2.
Oh, man. Gianni was so close to surviving it. He did everything right, except he fumbled his micro at the last minute. And Voyager correctly, sprung on the Marines and targeted the barracks. And honestly, like, that's it, Voyager didn't even make more drones or anything. It has just more lings. The 4 pool is all in, and Voyager knows it. Yeah, Gianni can kind of fight these lings and starts another barracks, but...
It's like he has no income.
Look,
they are even on workers.
Yeah, they're even on workers. So yeah, I don't know. This game's kind of just gonna go on until Gianni decides swallow he doesn't have a
pride.
chance.
Be like, yeah, I just got 4 pooled.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say before. I think in general. Yeah, well.
True.
Wow. In general, I think all-in builds are always better on these, what's it called, maps. On 4-player maps. Because on 2-player maps, you might think 2-player maps are more dangerous for all-ins, defending against one. Because it's like, oh, the other person, like, 4-pooling me, they always know where I am. it actually works both ways. You always scout them. You know where they are, so you can scout them way earlier. So it's actually on a 4-player map like this one that the 4 pool is the most dangerous, because as you saw, Gianni didn't immediately know where Venuz was.
Yeah.
Now, Voyager, I keep saying Venuz. And granted, Voyager had the advantage
Voyager
of...
and Venuz never play each other.
Yeah, right.
It will be V's all day long.
Now, granted, Voyager had the advantage of shared vision, but you know what? Gianni is definitely a more experienced player, and I think he was playing. He was a little cocky, you know, not walling here. He had his thing.
Well, actually, I think the 4 pool walls are countered by the 4 pool, because actually, and like with pro players, because their worker micro is so good, I've heard that like if you're a pro player going against another pro player, and you 4 pool and they don't wall, then you're gonna lose. Again, because pros have such good worker micro.
Show them the stats screen for those who wants it.
The problem is with a wall is your barracks is so far away from your command center that the Zerg can make you have to choose between protecting your command center and your mineral line or protecting your barracks. Right.
But we go on to our third and final match.
Yeah.
Is Gianni going to get 4 pooled again?
I don't know. Sorry, paused it. If you're Voyager, do you 4 pool again?
That'd be pretty funny.
It does look like he's doing it again.
The double 4
never
pool.
Never mind. Okay.
5 pool? Could be a 5 pool. It's not.
It could be. Again, from my understanding, the 5 pool is strictly worse than the 4 pool against Terran, because it comes like the 10 seconds later or whatever. Imagine if that came 10 seconds later. Gianni would have had a Marine, you know?
Yeah.
So
He also might have moved out with his Marine, though.
That's true. But yeah, so let's kind of look at it in the bottom left. We have Voyager, the black Zerg, and then in the bottom right, look at this. Gianni's going for an 8 racks. Interesting. Okay, I'll talk about this in a bit.
He says you're not fooling me again, bro.
In the bottom right, we have Gianni, the teal Terran, going for an 8 racks. So this, you might look at this and think it's a little extreme or something, but actually the 8 racks is a pretty meta build. If the Zerg goes for a 12 hatch or an 11 hatch, and they don't scout the 8 racks and pull drones, then the 8 racks could bunker rush and just shut down the hatchery and really be bad for the Zerg. But if Gianni, you know, with an 8 racks in main, generally if it's a more aggressive bunker rush 8 racks, they do it like at their natural or out in the middle of the map or something. But it being here, this is just hard counting, which I think is very smart. And look at the Sim City from Gianni. Like if you got the Zerglings, you're never getting on this bunker. You got to go all the way around the barracks and all the way around the supply depot, or through the mineral line, which has workers going, so it's tough.
And look, immediately gonna put the Marine in. Just for the record, guys, you can only get, like, pretty much all 4 pools are the same on virtually every map. The Zerglings get into your base at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So he got this in at like 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Gianni is so safe, and I think he knows it. He only made 1 Marine.
I think this is a smart kind of counter from Voyager to actually go fast expand, because Gianni's play was so safe that his economy is not good. It's not where it should be.
Yeah.
And I actually wanted to call out, like, he made 1 Marine, and he just had 1 Marine for a while. It's not until now that he started making Marines again. And honestly, if I'm Gianni and I see there's no pool, I'd cancel this Marine and go for faster expansion. But Gianni just being safe, trying to, you know, get his numbers up. Maybe he's going to be a little aggressive. We don't know. Either way, this game is gonna last longer than 4 minutes. The 4 minutes the previous one did. Just looking. We don't really see anything too crazy just yet. From either player, really. Gianni is starting another supply depot. He's doing pretty well about keeping his... Oh no, that's an academy. Never mind. I think one barracks academy expansion is pretty safe.
Very safe.
Excuse me. Last time he did, he expanded off of 2 barracks. But this game, you know, I think you scout, you see, he still has the scouting SCV alive.
This guy with 5 HP, he's one shot.
Yeah, these 2 players are effectively sharing vision with each other because Gianni's scout is still alive. Oh, you know, I talked about last game how Voyager was keeping their overlords safe, and it's like, yeah, duh. He has shared vision. You should keep them safe.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's smart from Voyager.
Hatchery and man.
Gianni even lifted his barracks and moved it to a more normal position. And honestly, Gianni, it's time to expand, brother. Your scout was alive for so long, you know there's nothing coming. And so yeah, here he goes. He's throwing down an expansion at a decent time. I think it could have been a little earlier, but, you know, this is, like, safe and still decently fast.
Yeah.
Voyager's moving out with 5 lings. Moving out with 10 lings, actually. Or 12, I mean. Sorry. I can count, I swear.
5 lings? What happened to the 6th, I wonder?
Oh, it got stuck behind another group.
Oh yeah, that adds up to 14. Yeah. 14 Zerglings total.
Yeah, so,
which actually
again,
could maybe end this game if they went in right now and came in like here and here. Not just, oh, conga line, oh, we're only attacking one guy at a time.
I think it...
But they don't have speed. It'd be risky.
Depends. Yeah, without speed, I don't know. With speed,
medic's out,
kind of guaranteed.
With this medic coming out, these Zerglings are pretty much useless until they have speed.
Voyager made their natural into the layer. That I like, because, you know, as a Terran, well,
yeah.
I don't know. It depends.
The layer, because the layer has more HP, guys. It doesn't. The only difference, well, the layer is like how you progress your tech as Zerg, and the layer has 1800 HP.
I think it was. I was gonna say because it wouldn't get scanned, so it depends. In my opinion, if I'm a Terran player, I scan the Zerg's main first scan. But there are some builds that the first thing you do is you scan the natural, so you can be like, oh, can I just kill them now? So hiding your tech at the natural is good if the Terran isn't playing super aggressive, which Gianni generally doesn't. So I like that. But if you're playing against, you know, I think if you're playing against Michael's a pretty aggressive Terran. I don't think I'd hide my tech at my natural.
Yeah,
again,
what you need to do is hide your tech.
Ton of Zerglings.
Hide your tech in your opponent's base.
True.
Oh look, I think Gianni's probably thinking of doing a bunker rush, but nah.
Yeah. Well, this SCV sees just how many Zerglings there are.
It doesn't see just how many.
He sees there are a lot,
and one medic
Gianni's like, oh, I'm pulling back. He sees enough Zerglings. He sees enough to know he has to pull back.
I think Voyager should just run in with this many Zerglings, personally. Oh wait, hold on. How many medics? Just 2? That's kind of a scary amount. And he has stim.
Gianni has stim by now, yeah.
And I think these are slowlings.
Yeah, I think Voyager just way overmade Zerglings. Look at the worker count difference. 15 to 28. You don't need, you don't need a million Zerglings right now, especially if you have shared vision. But Voyager's doing a lot better job keeping his money low. Has a lot more hatcheries than last time, and is playing safer. With mutas coming out at 8 minutes, a little late, but Also, Gianni scouted it with his thing, so look at the missile turrets coming down.
Oh yeah.
And he has this empty bunker in his main, but like absolute worst case scenario, he can put some Marines in there, and then the mutas will never be able to do anything.
Or the SCVs. Look at all these turrets. Yeah.
Yeah, smart move from Gianni. Turrets don't do super well versus mutas. However, you need them anyway.
Yeah.
Because look, if you come in with not enough mutas, if you don't respect the turrets like this, you're gonna take some real heat.
And three mutalisks is just not a lot.
Like that, you might think that's okay. Like, oh, you got the turret and lost one
conga
muta.
line.
It's like, no. You do not want to lose one muta this early, especially to turrets.
Yeah.
And now that Gianni has his Marines in here and his main, he sends them back. Oh yeah, he has them hang out. Like, these mutas can't do anything because the Marines will respond so quickly.
Well, what's funny is, actually, Voyager can see exactly where the turrets are and where they aren't, so Gianni has to make them everywhere.
Yeah, really. And Gianni has them deep in as well, so Voyager can't just run past the first layer. And honestly, I think the only real weak points are kind of at the
top.
Yeah, at the top and at the very bottom, where he's going in right now.
Oh yeah. So yeah, the mutalisks, you never want to actually fight anything with these mutalisks. They're a harassing unit. If they fight the they should not
and
go for
honestly,
supply
very
depots.
good. Like, Johnny is supply blocked right now because of that. They fight this one turret, which is good. This is too ambitious though.
Yeah,
you gotta pull
too
back,
much-
and
too much damage,
he
yeah.
recognizes. He takes one more SCV for good measure, and then he leaves. And all that, he lost one muta. One muta for a turret and at least 2 SCVs. That's pretty good.
There's more mutalisks coming in.
Yeah. But
But
Gianni seems to be pushing out a little.
he's like, alright.
Actually, I think Gianni must have killed all of the Zerglings.
Yeah, I completely
Where'd
missed
they
that,
all
dude.
go? Yeah,
Did we miss mass Zergling death? Like, holy shit. Well, I guess you
Yeah.
can see that's how effective the Zerglings were, folks.
I will say, mass Zerglings in conjunction with mutas is really good, because like a Terran player is going to be targeting down mutas. Like, you will, as a Terran, you manually right-click on mutas to kill them. You don't just A-move. So if you kind of surround Terran bio, like you get a flank with Lings, and you have mutas on one side, you can really win fights that you shouldn't. And Gianni scans, he knows he can't bust that. But Voyager's kind of all in on mutas. No Hive Tech, no Queen's Nest, no Hydra Den, no Evo Chamber, only mutas. So, you know,
Gianni just keeps turreting up. He's like, alright,
Yeah.
you're not killing me with
keep
mutalisks.
turreting up. He doesn't have a starport yet, though. Like, these turrets delayed his starport by a lot.
Yeah.
And starports are really the counter to mutas, because science vessels with irradiate counter mutas, and Valkyries sort of counter mutas.
Valkyries mentioned. Where are these 3
Hey.
mutalisks going?
Valkyries are a legit play. Honestly, if I scan that many mutas, I'd go Valkyries. Just like 2 or 3 in addition to your Marines.
Yeah, but would you go Valkyries or would you go Science Vessel? Because right now, Gianni is neither.
I'd go Science Vessel. If I had perfect vision, or I'd go Valkyrie, I mean. If I had perfect vision, then, which Terran always does because the LOL comsat, there are no lurkers, so you don't need detection. And I'm not entirely sure Voyager is going to clump up his mutas super well. And Valkyrie has a bigger area of effect than Science Vessels irradiate.
Are these more drones? No, these are Zerglings.
God, look at how many turrets there are. Oh, and Gianni has 2 tanks to siege down these Nidus's. Or not Nidus's, sorry, sunken colonies.
Yeah. Gianni's gonna try and lay siege to this base. Look, conga lining Zerglings, you might as well be burning money, because I think they killed one thing, but the Mutaliks might be pretty good.
Yeah, I think it was okay because the
medics are all out of position. and there's fire bats here. So these guys can't shoot up. These Mutalisks are gonna get these kills here.
Yeah.
Only
I think
half
the
the
Lings
Mutalisks
were
being
actually
used
okay though, because they took hits for the mutas.
Yeah. And Gianni, yeah, he has to
And yeah,
respect that
Johnny pulls back, very smart, regroups with some more Marines. And Gianni's leaving, honestly, it might be a little too big of a force he leaves, because he's just afraid of backstabs. But I don't know. Voyager taking a kind of hidden third, I would say. Or maybe even 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yeah, that's crazy. But really,
well, he doesn't have enough money for that
he needs
much.
worker
It's probably
count.
for extractor.
He only has 4 workers. Imagine having a 4 pool, guys. Like, this is so little. This is 200 minerals a minute. Let's look at Gianni's base. How many minerals a minute is he making?
1 million.
Well, 10.
Gianni finally starting his starport.
12. That's like 11 there, but a lot more.
Yeah, Voyager's worker count is just, it's way too low.
I mean, what happened is he made these sunken colonies, which takes, workers, and he never rebuilt workers.
Gianni saw the hive on the way, and saw the mutas moving, and honestly, I think Gianni just wins this fight.
Yeah, I think he wins this fight too.
Unless he doesn't stim or something, it's like as long as Gianni stims, he's all right.
Look,
additionally,
3 mutas.
I do want to call out these mutas have +1 attack. You want to get +1 armor first, because +1 armor does a lot better versus Marines than +1 attack. Not to say +1 attack isn't good, just not as good. And yeah, Gianni knows how to do a slow push. Here he comes.
And look, parking Mutalisks, these are all gonna die. They're all dead.
Yeah.
They're all gone. He has to pull
pulls
back,
with the smart.
Well, he lost like half of them. Like,
I think he lost 3 mutas for 1 tank.
It's so easy to lose the game as Zerg here by being like, I know, I'll attack with my Mutalisks, and you just like drive them above the Marine ball and then throw it in park, and it's like,
Look, Gianni is. Why is Gianni taking this fight?
Because
you
he
should
knows
be a little slower, honestly.
He knows he
Not
can.
in range of the Sunkens.
He can. With that many medics and stim.
Yeah, he really took that fight.
Hey, I'm saying it's doable. If he microed that better, he could have taken that. He didn't even need the tanks.
Alright, here's how Voyager can still win though. Make drones. From all of your hatcheries, make drones from every single one.
Yeah.
You got like 12 larvae here, another 3 here, another 3 here. 18 larvae, 18 more drones, over doubles his worker count.
Yeah. If he just makes
look,
drones...
18 to 38 workers, Voyager can't play a long game. He doesn't have the bank, or he doesn't have the economy behind.
Yeah, the economy. Yeah. He does shut down this third, which is a good play.
Yeah. Gianni has science vessel, like he has everything to make a science vessel. And he's like poning these Mutalisks without even getting the stuff that counters Mutalisks. Because Voyager just doesn't have enough money for it. He doesn't have enough money to make enough mutas to not have to micro them. Just as a Zerg player, with the exception of Zerg versus Zerg, I would recommend new Zerg players just stay away from Mutalisks. Unless you know how to micro them, which is like very hard to do, they're not worth it. And then in Zerg versus Zerg, unfortunately, like you kind of have to go mutas. But you don't have to necessarily micro them super well.
It's also easy to trick yourself as a new player, being like, okay, I'm doing well economically because I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases to the Terrans 2 bases. But Gianni actually has double Voyager's income. Yeah, because he has actual people mining. In a way, you couldn't really consider this a base. It has almost no income.
Yeah.
This base,
although
almost no income.
Voyager's worker count has gone up a lot.
It's gone up.
But Gianni's is already up. Look at the supply. Gianni's got over double.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to get your worker count up early into the game. Because now it's like, yeah, okay, their worker count's pretty much even. But Gianni's has been where it is for so long that he's had enough money. He's had the economic opportunities to get this up. And he scans, he finds the bases, so he's gonna just go shut those down.
Yeah, it's like
He finds every single base Voyager has with scan. And he knows they're all defenseless too. So like, he should just like shut them down one by one. He doesn't even have to send his whole army out. I can't believe this. No medics in this
It's
attack.
just Marines.
It's so funny. I also want to call attention, Gianni has 1-1 upgrades while Voyager doesn't even have an Evo chamber. But their mutas are 1-1. Oh, and Voyager has a Defiler mound. This is also something that I don't think I'd recommend for new players. The Defiler is super good. And if you're going to put in the effort to learn how to use it, it's probably the best unit Zerg has. However, managing a spellcaster in addition to keeping like all your bases and your mutas and your Zerglings, it can be a lot. I think if Voyager went into Ultralisks or maybe even Guardians, they'd be doing pretty well. But I think this game is pretty much
winding
over.
down.
Yeah. Voyager, it looks like, might be gearing up for one last counterattack. Because, you know, with Gianni shutting down all these bases, Voyager's in hot water. So I think maybe going for a base trade might be his best chance, but honestly, Gianni has so much at his
Look at this conga line.
natural. Yeah.
Like a sine wave.
And Gianni's scanning. Man, Gianni's so on top of his scans. Like,
What did he see? Saw that.
he
base.
scanned the natural. Yeah, worker count needs some work, man. True. I'll say it right now. Honestly, both of these guys need a better worker count. Gianni's worker count is still really low. You should be mining out of your main base at 17 minutes. And it's 20 minutes. Gianni's almost mined out, not mined out yet. And Voyager isn't really even that close.
Yeah. If we actually look, there's like another...
Yeah. Well, I mean, Zerg's worker count should be lower than the other races. But I'm talking like Zerg should have like 40 to 50, while the other races should have 50 to 60.
I really think Zerg should have 50 to 60 also. And it's like Protoss and Terran that can run up to 70.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Gianni scans and he sees everything. He should know he can just win. I mean, granted, he doesn't see this army out here. He might accidentally walk into it. But, like, Gianni has a giant death army here.
Big zoom out. Oh, it's gonna be blurry on stream. Talking about camera works everywhere, guys. Not used to streaming.
Gianni just, like, took out a pretty big... Like, he had won a pretty big fight. Oh, he has Overlord drop. He might go for, like, a counter drop. I wonder if Voyager has Adrenalings. I haven't watched. But, either way, no Evo chamber, so no upgrades. His Lings are still 1-1. Or not even 1-1, they're 0-0. Gianni's scanning, he's like, oh, you're on 2 base.
Is it really 2 base if he has only 4 workers mining from this one? It's like he's functionally 1 base. With this low
Gianni
worker count.
might have seen that drop. Or he might have heard the sound
pickup.
of the Lings getting, the pickup. I don't know though, but I don't think this drop is going to do anything. Look at Gianni's main.
Yeah, I
He's
showed
got
it on screen.
infinite missile turrets.
He's got so many turrets that it's not happening.
Yeah. Where's the science facility? It's not where it was built. Yeah, there it is, the covert ops. We knew it was coming, folks. Building 2 command centers for the sole purpose of nuke silos. the game is gonna go on because Gianni is gonna nuke, and we'll see if this gives Voyager the opportunity to do this big doom drop he's building up for. Wait, what? Oh.
This is gonna take a while, folks.
Oh, Voyager does have 2 defilers, I just realized, hidden at his base.
Don't look. Don't look.
Voyager has 11 guys mining minerals.
Alright. No one saw any of that.
I actually didn't.
Oh, you're gonna see it on if you have the stream open.
Yes, sir. Oh, the game timer. Wait, what? Why'd you turn all this stuff on?
I couldn't remember what the hotkey to turn it off was. I panicked.
Johnny's killing Marines to... I don't know why.
To free up supply, because nuke is 8
yeah,
supply.
but look at his supply.
I turned it off.
He's got 145 supply. Out of 200. This is 145/200. Also, we'll hold Alt-W and then use that to turn on whatever you need to turn on.
Yeah, that's what I do. I think when I start the game, I always do Alt-Y, Alt-F, Alt-W. But I messed up the order.
Yeah, but looking at it right now, you still don't have this tab in the top right open.
I opened it.
Oh, okay. Gianni keeps scanning the front, but Gianni doesn't know about the big Doom Drop, and he doesn't know about the Defilers that are out. Oh, one of the Defilers gets loaded up in the Doom Drop, 2 of them get loaded up, and Voyager has some Scourge. Here come the Ghost Army. Here comes the Ghost Army. And 2 nuke silos getting made. Gianni's trying his hardest to give Voyager way back into this game.
Yeah, right.
He's killing his own units. He's stalling to make nukes. Like, he's really trying to give Voyager a chance.
Maybe you'll get 4-pulled again.
True. Let's see. Gianni at least sees the Defiler mound, so I wonder if he knows they're Defilers or not. He didn't see any drop or anything. But, frankly, if I were Gianni, I'd still be like, where are your units, bro?
All these overlords are full.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, Voyager has 1 shot. He's got to make it count. Oh, he has a proxy base at the top. I didn't even notice. Clicking around. Voyager needs some Evo chambers, and Gianni needs to get his Marine upgrades. He's slacking. He's still only at 1-1. Voyager's at 1-2, so for his mutas, he can't upgrade his ground stuff without an Evo chamber. But his mutas have better upgrades than the Marines, and that should never happen. I wonder what Gianni keeps scanning for.
Probably just
Like, what's he looking for when he scans?
Or maybe it's just trying to use his scans.
Oh, the D Matrix.
Nuclear launch detected.
If I were Voyager, I'd go now.
Oh, what if he moves now and he gets caught in a nuke blast?
Yeah, it could. I mean, all these mutas are gonna die. All these Sunkens are gonna die. Here it comes. Yeah. Oh wow, actually, a lot of the Sunken survive. I'm impressed. The same ghost calling in the second nuke.
Yeah,
oh,
exactly
no,
what I thought was gonna happen.
All of these overlords are gonna get hit, and Gianni sees them too because of the nuke.
Yeah, there goes half your thing.
Oh no!
That was unfortunately very preventable.
And Gianni's gonna kill these overlords. He knows. Voyager, I think, waited too long and
definitely.
didn't take a very safe route. He could have gone further down to avoid detection, but look, Gianni's gonna irradiate these overlords.
And also the weaker ones are entering first. Like only like 4 of these are gonna be able to drop, if that. If he even knows how to unload them. Look, they just get shot down. This is like D-Day, but like look, it's like some. It's like a handful of Zerglings. At least they're cracklings, but it's just like.
Oh yeah, and there's no anti-air, so Gianni can do what is called the eraser, where you irradiate your science vessel, and because irradiate does area damage, it will damage the lings under it. I guess we've never really talked about irradiate, like what it does.
It's just like it's basically cancer. You give them cancer, like fast acting.
It does
cancer.
like I want to say 249.3 damage, like something crazy like that. Basically 250 damage to any biological unit that is either hit with irradiate or touching something hit with irradiate. Because the science vessels are not biological, they can irradiate each other and not damage each other. And Gianni's stalling for one more nuke, or 2 more nukes, because he has 2 nuke silos. Look at how bad ghosts are. They're taking forever to kill this Defiler mound.
Nuclear launch detected.
I wonder if Dark Storm can survive a nuke.
I think I want to say Dark Swarm doesn't protect what's under it, but I could be wrong. Well, Voyager has 3 workers now, and they're all mining minerals.
We're gonna see a spell out of these Defilers. I'm just happy to see them.
Yeah, I would have rathered Voyager went for a Greater Spire or an Ultralisk Cavern, though. But I think Defilers have a higher skill ceiling.
Oh, definitely. Look at this.
At least it kills all the larvae. Now, Gianni should definitely be looking for hidden bases. I would if I were in this position. Damn! The offensive Chi-Chi!
Offensive GG is pretty crazy. It's pretty BM.
Oh, that's comedy. Oh, it's so good. I mean, he scans it now. He knows now. But that's so good. Oh, man. Too bad. Voyager has like 10 supply. And I think I want to say 6 of it is Defilers in this Overlord. Yeah. Here's how Voyager can still win.
4 pool.
I mean, Johnny's gonna nuke the 4 pool. There go the Defilers. They survived.
The last airbenders.
Johnny knows there are the Defilers. Okay. You need something under the Dark Swarm, though, buddy.
He's like, okay, I'll be under the Dark Swarm.
Dark Swarm doesn't protect buildings, by the way. So Dark Swarming sunken colonies does nothing. So I guess I should say what Dark Swarm does as well, because it's super important in this matchup. What Dark Swarm is this orange cloud, the Cheeto dust, the Dorito dust, and anything underneath it does not take range damage.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
All of us we all just go commentator mode.
Yeah. And it's important to say units, because again, it took me way longer than it should have to learn that it doesn't affect buildings underneath it.
I like that all the commentators just like had an instinct in them where it's just like press the circle button to jump. Like we all just went like tutorial mode. Alright, well, I guess we're gonna find out. Does Dark Storm survive? Is the nuke range? I think it's direct damage.
Yeah, I don't know, but
so everyone's about to find out here.
Dark Swarm doesn't protect. Okay, the nuke still kills things under it. Dark Swarm doesn't protect from splash damage. So siege tanks can still kind of work against stuff under Dark Swarm, and fire bats can still kind of work against things under Dark Swarm. The one drone, 1 out of 1 supply. Alright, well, Voyager is not eliminated, even though they lost. They are going down to the lower bracket. Let me actually pull up the bracket and take a look at who goes where. Sorry, folks.
I'll take your time. Take your time. I just
Yeah.
showed the score screen.
So, in the upper bracket, we have me versus Gianni coming up next. Regardless, like, if either of us lost every single game, we'd be in 6th place, or tied for 6th place. If we win that game, however, we're guaranteed at least 3rd place. Voyager, however, goes down into the lower bracket to play Medusa, so that is a Zerg versus Protoss. And Venez goes down into the lower bracket to play Crabs, so another Zerg versus Protoss. And Venez and Crabs is a rematch from the group stage.
I'm like trying to show the player cards on screen, like as you mentioned the people. But yeah. And then Gianni, there's the Battle.net lobby. Gianni goes, I think you already said. He'll go on to fight Venuz.
Me.
No, you. Yes. And the winner will be guaranteed at least 6th place in the tournament.
No, the loser is guaranteed at least
okay.
6th place. The winner is guaranteed at least 3rd.
Oh wow.
Yeah. All right.
But I think that's pretty much it, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry about the technical difficulties. I know the stream started a little late. We had some hang-ups, the quality, but for the most part, I think it worked. I think it worked out. So you said it, Jason. All right. So on that note, no lengthy call-outs for the end. We're just gonna stop the stream here, guys. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Oh wait, when's the next stream?
Wednesday, 8 p.m., and that is Will versus Blue, and Vignette, aka Michael, versus Joj.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks.